Hello, my statletes. Welcome to A25, Chapter 8. This is the last set of notes on new material, Semester 1. Here we go. So we studied binomial distributions, and we had a fixed number of trials. Geometric does not have a fixed number of trials. We are waiting for the first success. Let's get right into our do nows. Everybody go ahead and make your attempt on problems 1, 2, review from Algebra 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead. Be a contender. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. As long as you correct in color, it's okay. And then, of course, you have to learn from your mistakes. Go ahead, do these now. And you're back. Number 1, this is a geometric, or it looks to be from what we can see, a geometric progression, because we multiply by 5 to get from one term to the next. If we take the ratio of any term divided by its previous term, we have a common ratio of 5. Whereas B, we're adding 16. It looks to be an arithmetic if the pattern continues, and the common difference is 16. To get the nth term in a geometric progression, we have some constant times a common ratio raised to the power n minus 1. So if you look at 100, it is the third term. We take the first term 4 times 5, not to the third, but to the second to give us 100. 4 times 25. So it's n minus 1. The sum of the sequence. We can take the sum of an infinite geometric progression as long as the common ratio is between 1 and -1, non-inclusive, and not, of course, equal to 0. There would be no terms other than the first term. And what happens is, as you move further out in the progression, the terms get closer to 0 and almost 0. So we can sum an infinite geometric sequence. Here R will be our probability, and the 4 conditions for geometric. We have independence between trials, just like for a binomial. What happens on one attempt does not influence what happens on the next attempt. Therefore, we get to multiply probabilities. There's a fixed probability of success, so that never changes, success or failure. And then finally, the variable of interest is not how many successes, but how many trials we need to get our first success. So P of 1, that reads probability that the first success occurs on the first trial. We're looking at a 4 on a fair, regular, six-sided die. So one side out of 6 is favorable, 1/6. Now, this guy right here, B, is saying, what's the probability of lose on first roll and win on second? So it's 5/6. There's our lose on first, times, because we have independence, 1/6. There's our win, 5/36. On our calculator, it would be second distribution. We're looking for geometric PDF. And for binomial, it wasn't Hipke, it was Nipke, but Mrs. Hipke is picky. So you're going to remember geometric distributions on your calculator, PK, probability of success. So here the probability of success was 1 divided by 6, and we're looking for the first success to occur on the second trial. And let's double check. And let's make sure we match our fraction. So I just hit math. I want to go to fraction form. Boom. Yes, I love it. I love it. And then see, this is probability of lose on first roll and lose on second roll and win on third roll. We get to multiply 5/6, 5/6, 1/6. And here I could go second enter until I get back to my recent, I missed the second button, second enter. And I just want to change that 2 to a 3. Turn it into a fraction, make sure I match. Fraction is there. Boom. Yes, very, very good. And now we will go to the next slide. Be sure to write down your commands for binomial PDF. Mrs. Hipke, not Hipke, but Nipke, but Mrs. Hipke is picky. What would we have done if Ms. Perlman hadn't gotten all those resources from Mrs. Hipke? A whole nother world. Next slide, everybody. We're still in A25. So now we're going to look at the general case. So success on the first trial, that's P. This means success, first success on second trial. So this is miss on first and win on second. So here we have P. Here we have 1 minus P, the quantity, times P. On the this is first success on the third trial. So 1 minus P, the quantity, times itself, times P. And you can see that every time as you work through this in the general case, we have P is our common ratio. And for instance, here we had 1 minus P, the quantity to the second. So this would be n minus 1 or k n minus 1. And we'd always have this success in the very last spot when we multiply in order as things occur. Okay. Look at the previous do now before the general chart and decide which way we would have our distribution skewed. As X increases, probability does what? Decreases, gets closer and closer to 0. You're going to complete this chart and you're going back to do now number 4. You're betting on that one face. And then you're going to run it again and do one var stat L1, L2. You're going to use your sequence button. And answer 7 and 8. Let's go ahead and do that now via contender. And you're back. Okay, so we have our n minus 1. Here's that general case that we were talking about. And the sum is our geometric progression or series sum, or infinite. Probability is always between 0 and 1. So we met that condition where r had to be a fraction between 1 and -1, non-zero, of course. We have our first term is P, and then we go 1 minus r. So 1 minus the quantity, 1 minus P, distribute the negative, and we have P over P, 1, check. The distribution is right, skewed. And this is really interesting. If we only go out to 3, like we did in do now number 4, and we try the random variable formula for expected value or mean, we run into a problem. We get 1.88. And if we do it manually, we get 0.7916. Well, the calculator method is glitched because remember, when you run one var stat in random variable land, we have put probabilities in list 2. Those probabilities should sum to 1. When we did problem number 4, they do not sum to 1. So that explains the difference here. Both of these are not the correct mean because you have to go out further to generate the mean of a geometric distribution. Now here, let's go ahead and do it. So I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to clear my list. I'm going to go second plus 4, enter. I didn't have to. I could have just overwrote them. Overwrote. Okay, we'll do it on our home screen like I set it up here. So we're going to find sequence, that's second list, ops 5, xt theta, comma, older calculator, next line, new calculator, newer calculator. This time we're not going to start with 0. In binomial land, we start with 0 because there could be 0 successes. In geometric land, we're waiting for our first success. So it couldn't happen before the first trial. So we're going to be starting at 1 and we're going to be ending at 100. And we want to go up in increments of 1. Okay, so I'm just double checking. Enter, enter, stow, list 1. And then we are going to put geometric PDF, so second distribution. I'm going to go up to get to it faster. Make sure you're doing PDF, not the at most scenario. P is 1/6. And we want to read how many trials we need to get our first success from list 1. And we are going to paste this, so stow list 2. Let's take a look at it in stat edit. So you can see as the number of trials needed for first success increases, probability decreases. And if you scroll down, we get to 0. Let's see how quickly we get to 0. So we still have pretty significant probabilities in here, although definitely less than our significance level of 5% when we're talking about rejecting the null hypothesis and supporting some suspicion. Okay, and even so we get super, super close to 0 around 30 trials needed for the first success. That's super unlikely for rolling a fair die. Now we're going to go back to our home screen. I'm going to clear it. It's very busy. Stat, calc, 1var stat, L1, comma, L2, older calculators. And here is mu sub x. It is really 6. And here's our standard deviation, which it rarely comes up for geometric. And now if you look at your formula, let's double check that it's on the formula packet. It used to not be on the formula packet. And I'm looking for they put it on. That's pretty amazing. And they actually put on the standard deviation as well. So right in here on your formula packet, before students had to memorize that. You guys are lucky. And you substitute and we get 6. So we match. For geometric, we saw that we started with 1, not 0, because you need at least 1 trial to have a success. For binomial, we start with 0. For binomial, we have a fixed number of trials. For geometric, we're waiting for our first win. So here are shortcut formulas for the mean of a binomial and the mean of a geometric. Here is random variable land. These formulas should always work. Caveat, for geometric, you have to go out far enough so the sum of the probabilities hits 1. And Q is 1 minus P. A binomial variable is a random variable. Geometric is also a random variable. In class, I would have had you work together on 27 and 29. Take a look at it now quickly. What's tricky about 27 is that you have to manually set the windows. And again, you want to remember that we're starting with 1. And to capture, it's not wrong to go from 0 to 6. And if you remember in chapter 1, I said go a little bit below the lowest and a little bit higher than the highest. But here I'm just emphasizing that you can't have x equals 0 in a geometric. And here are the hints on how to build it on your calculator. If you hit zoom 9, you get a weird bar width. And for 29, they flip. A success is actually a miss. So that gets a little bit confusing. On an assessment, rarely, and rarely would you see something that makes you switch probability, that makes you switch success with failure. And we'll take a quick look at 27 and 29. Oh, 29. That's it. We're done. That's it, chapter 8. All practice here on out. Goodbye.